Hello, I want to make a movie. Well, really, I want to make lots of movies, but I don't have a script or anything of that nature right now. I have ideas. I have lots of ideas. This notebook is basically completely full of them. And that's all they are right now. They're just pages of different details and ideas that are written down. So I need to start building those out, and that's what we're going to do. This is going to be me writing, forming ideas. I have no idea how long this is going to take, and I apologize if this sounds quiet. It's because I already have a quiet voice, and then I'm not home alone, so I'm reluctant to raise my voice any higher than it currently is because I don't want to be heard. So you're gonna have to deal with what I'm assuming is probably borderline ASMR. I haven't really listened to myself. I'm assuming that's the area that we're in right now. So yeah. But please enjoy. This is going to be me working on my first movie starting today, December 15th, 2025. It is 10:31 a.m. and now we begin. Hello. I'm probably even quieter than I was in the first bit because now more people are home and I don't want to be heard. I didn't write for a super long time, probably really just an hour or so, just expanding on my ideas for the story and everything. But it seems like now, rather than just having one movie, I possibly have a trilogy on my hands, which is exciting, very exciting. But I really need to expand on the first movie more because I have a general idea of the how the plot could expand into the second and third movies because it feels like a natural progression of the first one. But I mainly just have the beginning pieces of the first story and then a little bit of background for that, and I need to figure out how to expand on that because there are certain elements of this that I need to include, but I don't know how to include them, and I don't want to get into it because I'm going to make these movies and I want people to watch them, and I have no idea if people will watch these videos, but I praise God, I'm gonna make these movies. They're going to be successful. And then one day people will watch these videos and be like, oh my gosh, that's the behind the scenes of her making that movie. Hopefully that's what these are going to be. So I'm not going to get too deep into what the plot of this is. But right now we have college students and some conspiracy. And you know what? I think it's appropriate to say probably some Stranger Things vibes going on, although it's actually not influenced by Stranger Things, it's influenced by a lot of other things, just conspiracies or thoughts or mythology that I have taken an interest in over the years, and some of this is actually based around some research that I was doing on my own. Like I said, I won't get too deep into it, but history and mythology and archaeology and everything is important to this, but so is science. Well, I guess science and archaeology, they're not exactly separated from each other, but science is important to this, but it's exciting. I have roughly 4 pages of things that I have expanded on for this. I have several characters now. They don't have names. Right now they're just referred to as friend, boy, and various other things that I won't say because they'll give away plot points. Yeah, this is exciting. It's very, very exciting. I hope to write more tomorrow and expand on this more tomorrow. It'd be nice if I could follow along. I saw this thing once, I want to say it was like an 11-week plan to write a screenplay. In the first week was entirely just plotting, but I don't even know if 11 weeks was an accurate number for what I saw, but I feel like there was a whole week just dedicated to plotting, and so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to spend this week plotting and figuring out different details, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, this is okay. Yeah. Hello! So it's the next day now. I have gone from... Did I have 4 pages yesterday? I think I had 4 pages, but I've gone from 4 pages to 6 now. And, things have changed. Even more than I was expecting them to. So originally, and I would like to still be able to do this, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Originally, this story was supposed to start out with a short series of almost like found footage, like researcher videos that were supposed to tie into the plot of the movie. And then going from that led me into making out plans for a trilogy yesterday. But today I have changed some things, and so I don't entirely know if it's a trilogy anymore. It doesn't even really go with the little found footage researcher videos. Now it seems less like a trilogy and more like one movie, but the plot's different now. Well, it's different but not at the same time. But yeah, it's not like it's... The plan has changed, possibly. I'm not entirely sure. This is only my 2nd day, so things are likely to change. But instead of being a trilogy with the little web series before it, it seems like the web series isn't going to be a thing. Possibly, I don't know. I would like to do it, but if I do it, if I tell the story in the way that I came up with today, it doesn't really work. But I guess I could do it. It just wouldn't be relevant in the way that it was supposed to be relevant. All the characters that I came up with yesterday, gone, except for the initial character that was supposed to be in the little found footage web series. But yeah, outside of that character, everyone else has been trashed. But we'll see if that sticks. I'm not entirely sure. This might still be a trilogy, just plays out differently. I don't know which version I like more, because this one is more science heavy, but the other one is more history, mythology heavy. I like both. Both of them make sense for what the story is supposed to be. Both of them work. They could exist simultaneously, and technically they're supposed to exist simultaneously. But I just don't know how I want to start it out with that initial plotline, and that's bothering me. Yeah. I don't know. I did do some world building, well, just general background to the world today. Because like I said, the mythology of the world is very important for this story. So I started going into that and how it works with different things. I don't want to be detailed. I don't want to give away any details of anything, because I'm going to make these movies, and they're going to be successful movies. I'm going to do it. Yeah, I changed up the plot some, threw out lots of characters. I have a list of significant locations and some more background on the world now. I also have a moment or two that I hope will be significant to the plot, but it's a matter of figuring out where those moments fit into the plot, because I need to figure out the entire plot first. But you know, that's writing, I guess. Just having all kinds of ideas and then figuring out as you go. So, but yeah, that's all for today, or at least right now. Alright, so hello. That final bit of time-lapse should be from yesterday. At least I hope it's from yesterday. I think I'm going to end this video here. I have no idea how long it will be, and it's probably incredibly boring. Sorry about that. But yesterday I added on about another 2 pages of just building out the plot. I'm trying to figure out whether or not, because there's this one event that needs to happen in this movie, and depending on where I put it, this movie could play out in 2 different ways. But it could go in both of those places. It could be the inciting incident, or it could be the end of the movie, which naturally would make the movie play out in very different ways. But both ways would be interesting, and I just have to figure out which way I prefer, because I like both versions of the story, but I'm not entirely sure about which one. I think I want it to be the inciting incident, but I have no idea where to go from there after that, to keep the story going, I can figure out how to do it at the end and then go into a sequel. But for some reason, I cannot figure out how to have that be the inciting incident and then continue the movie from there without it not turning into seemingly a different movie after that. Which technically, I guess it kind of could turn into a different movie, but I don't like doing that. I don't want to do that. I want to keep the vibes the same, because the vibes could shift drastically once this thing happens, which is why I think it would make sense for a sequel to come and it be in that moment be the end of the movie, because it would work leading into a sequel, because it really opens up the story to this whole new thing. But at the same time, it would make so much more sense to have it as the inciting incident because of what it is, and I like it as the inciting incident, but I don't know. I'm just gonna have to figure it out. But I think this video is going to end here. I have no idea how long this is going to be. It's probably very boring, but this is probably what most of these videos are going to be like. So, yeah.